We are not just a retro game hunting channel, oh no. Every now and again I dip into some history, not just history that you can regurgitate off Wikipedia. We're not that kind of channel. We like to talk from the heart. I like to be sentimental, and today I'm going to share some of that sentiment with you. We're going to be taking a look at the Xbox 360 and what it means by today's standards, with of course some of the classic games, just experiencing manuals and warranty cards back in the day. Do you remember those? I definitely miss them. The Xbox 360 was a wonder console for many reasons, including the dashboard, Xbox Live, and much, much more. I mean, what a console. The Xbox 360 truly delivered. And from the upcoming footage you're about to see that I recorded, you'll see that the games still look incredibly breathtaking in 2023, making it one of the consoles that is something that I need to definitely focus on a lot more. I went through my library of Xbox 360 games and there's a lot of games missing, and that's because I was more of a Sony girl, and perhaps subconsciously I still am. That's why my PS3 collection is a lot bigger than my 360 collection. But I think now, having done this episode, I am going to be making a list of key 360 games I need to get. But now we're going to take a look at the Xbox 360 dashboard. I recorded it on this Xbox here, and there happen to be other profiles on there from random people that I bought this from, so we'll take a look at what they were playing as well. We'll also take a look at some of the gameplay that I recorded for some of the pinnacle titles. Of course, we could be here all day recording for this because there's so many good titles for the Xbox 360. We could be sat here for weeks. But nonetheless, we need to start right from the switch on. So this was a 360 that I bought many moons ago, and weirdly I've never turned it on until today. We've got Alfie, Daddy and We321. We'll take a look at what they were playing. But first things first, let's just skip the sign in and take a look at the Xbox 360 dashboard. It's pretty slick, if I'm honest. We've got the home tab along the bottom. We can see that there's nothing in. Or at least I don't think there's anything. No, there's absolutely nothing in. We've got recent. Obviously, this is just a made-up profile. There'll be no recent games. Social, again, Xbox Live was so revolutionary back in the day. You could go online, discover games, movies, apps. Of course, playing online. Arguably the death of couch co-op with online gaming. Obviously, we're not logged in, so there's no friends list. There's absolutely nothing. Games, browsing games online, TV and movies now. I personally never used my 360 for anything to do with this kind of media, films, TV shows, etc. I do think it was that kind of turning point where we started to see a rise in video game consoles becoming media boxes altogether. And that includes music, I guess, TV, music, different kinds of media, of course, but never really used it. So I kind of tended to just skip those two tabs. Apps, of course, I guess we could add things like entertainment, things like Netflix, for example. Not my kind of things. I purely used my 360 for games. Let's take a look at the system settings. So console settings, we've got the 1080p widescreen. We are, of course, plugged into HDMI. The audio, sound effects enabled. Ratings, collection, sound. Turn off rating collection if you don't want to hear the background sound. I kind of like the background sound. Language, of course, I'm here in the UK, English. Clock is natively set to the 22nd of November 2005. Startup and shutdown, of course, you can have your 360 set to automatically shut down. This one is natively set to shutting down after 1 hour. Background downloads, of course, being off. Autoplay enabled. Auto downloads off. Remote control, of course, we had the classic Xbox 360 remote control. Very revolutionary stuff, guys. We've got obviously no devices connected, and the system info is, of course, right here. Nothing to kind of shout home about. It is pretty much what it says on the tin, and what I like about this is it's clear, it's crystal as to how you get to which menu. It's just dead easy to navigate. Connect settings, of course we have no Connect. Setup, storage. What is the storage of this? We have 51 gigabytes free. Of course I did purchase this from somebody else. I'll probably do a hard reset after we've taken a look at some of the other profiles on here. Network settings, wired and wireless. Again, one of the beautiful things about the 360, we could play online. The likes of Halo was so much fun. Connect to PC, TV. You know, it's pretty much basic stuff. Do you want to run an initial setup? Absolutely not. But again, system settings, really slick, really easy, super duper fantastic. Notifications, online status, again, basic stuff. For me personally, I always appear offline. If you ever see me on PlayStation Online, there's something seriously wrong. So that is your basic overview of the dashboard in 2023. This is, nothing's added to it, nothing's taken away from it. This is as is, out of the box. What we're going to do now is take a look at some of the other avatars on here and see what games they were playing. So we're going to dive into Alfie. We might not be able to get in. Your console can't connect to Xbox Live. Do you want to exit the session and test the network connection? If so, do you want to exit the session? No. So here we are on Alfie's desktop, if you would. We're going to reset this after, but I'm eager to know what games Alfie actually played. What did you play, Alfie? Let's take a look, shall we? Your achievements. So I've never been one for like huge achievement or trophy chaser. A lot of people do ask me this. This person clearly likes the Lego Movie. We've got 18 out of 48 achievements. Again, massive Lego fan. 2 of the most top played games, like big Lego fan. Project Gotham Racing 3, not played much of that. Again, another Lego Star Wars game, or rather just Lego game. We've got some Angry Birds. This is not my, aside from the Mega Drive collection here, this is not really my kind of jam. This is a pretty basic profile, if I do say so myself. It's getting deleted, but I thought it would be quite cool just to kind of check it out. The gamer score, membership none, of course. What else do we have in here? There's absolutely nothing else on here, but it's interesting to see what this person actually played. It was sleek. It still is sleek. The Xbox 360 dashboard is probably one of my favourite dashboards in entire console history. It just feels so smooth, and more importantly for me, it feels so familiar. I really enjoyed filming that. It was a really nice trip down memory lane. But now, what about some of the games?
And so our story begins.
What even was Fable 2 back in the day? Well, I can't answer this for you, but I can sure as heck answer it for me. This was one of my most anticipated video games of 2008. And I have Bethesda, actually, of all studios, to thank for me to become absolutely just obsessed with Western RPGs. Of course, coming off the back of Oblivion and wanting to try something new, for me this felt like the next step. Now, I missed out on Fable on the original Xbox as it came out. I did later, of course, dip into it. So I was almost going into this game blind, and I couldn't put it down. I paid for it on launch. I think I actually went to a midnight opening, if I remember correctly, and I definitely don't regret it. I loved every minute of my time with Fable, and whilst this gameplay only shows you the very early stages, because you know, I'm recording this, I just wanted something to show you guys, to show the beauty of how this still really looks. It just felt amazing to go back to it, and I forgot actually how important this video game was to me and my journey throughout role-playing games. Of course, we know that this was made by the British studio Lionhead Studios, and since my fascination of this game has kind of long passed, I did become friends in Twitter DMs with one of the ex-Lionhead developers. His name was Charlie, and he sent, I have some sealed stuff from Lionhead Studios, including 2 coasters that someone used to use. They're covered in tea, but I think that's really cool, and it's definitely a memory that's warm to my heart. Viva Pinata is everything I expected from a rare game. So much eccentricity, charm and wonderment. And Viva Pinata is one of those games that you can just sit back with and forget about reality. There's no trauma involved of killing people or, shouting, "Throw this grenade" at your fellow team members. But instead, you just clearing a garden out, you're clearing out grass, you're creating space for new pinatas to come into your garden by clearing the trash and all the debris. It's really, really cute. And this one just feels nice just to be able to put the brakes on if you're needing something a little bit different. I think this often gets overlooked within the Xbox community, and that's why I wanted to just put my little stamp on it in this homage to the Xbox 360. Have you played Viva Pinata? It's really cool. Go and snag yourselves a copy after you've watched this episode. Well, the orange box. What can I say? I know Team Fortress 2, I wasn't hooked up to the internet, so I couldn't play it. I just wanted to see the load screen because I played the hell out of the orange box. We can see some Half-Life 2 here. But as this footage is rolling, just dipping back to Team Fortress 2, I spent so much time on that game back in the day, and I could not put it down. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm pretty certain, I'm not going to don't quote me, but I'm pretty certain the servers are still up and running, if not definitely on the PC. But maybe you weren't a fan of Team Fortress. That's fine, because the orange box offered up so many more things. Portal, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I can appreciate its ingenuity. But Half-Life 2, I was and still am a fan to this very day. Look at how nice this game looks. This is running on an Xbox 360. It looks stunning. I've seen worse games, and I'll mention Dead Island 2 with awful graphics, and it was only released a few months ago, and I love Dead Island 2. And we know that game with graphics don't make a game. That's why I love Dead Island 2. But this looks better than Dead Island 2, in my opinion. This game truly changed my life when I played it back on the original Xbox. And I've told the story many times of having absolutely no money. And there was this one time, because I'm going to tell it again, so skip the video if you've already heard it. I was in a supermarket, I had no job, I had £35 to my name, I had no food in my house. I went to Asda with my friend, she was doing a full food shop. And I looked at this game and it was £34.99, and my choices were buy Half-Life 2 on the original Xbox or buy food. And I chose Half-Life 2. And it got me through some depression at the time, a bit of a toxic relationship, and I'll be forever grateful for coming, into my house and just sitting down and playing that game and just forgetting the world. I could honestly sit here and talk to you all day about my adoration and experiences for Half-Life 2. But I can see how much footage I have left to record voiceover on, and it's not that much. But I can tell you that as I'm recording the voiceover, I see myself back on that pink and red sofa that I had, playing on a large Sony 32-inch big back TV. And it just fills my soul with so much pain, but so much joy at the same time. So it's really nice to kind of include this in my Xbox 360 homage. And I'd really like to know what some of your thoughts. Maybe you've never played this. Maybe you have a different game that's been as equally as important to you. I'd like to know what that is. So if you'd care to do so, please leave a comment and let me know. But I'm just going to let this final little segment of Half-Life 2 footage play out before we move on to the next game. can you imagine if Halo had never been developed? Would the Xbox's journey have been any different? Whilst Halo doesn't seem like the dominant IP for Xbox in 2023, it was definitely the dominant IP on the original Xbox and the Xbox 360. Of course, there were other IPs that were becoming equally as integral. But this was the first game from 343 Industries having taken over from the Leviathans of Bungie. Massive boots to fill, lots of expectations. I couldn't imagine being a developer on this game and having that on my shoulders. But I think this turned out tremendously. I think out of all the games I featured in this episode, this by far looks and sounds the best. And it stays true to its roots. It didn't reinvent the wheel. The HUD looks the same, the guns look the same, the sound effects seem the same from the enemies as you're shooting them and they're dying and they're making that weird waffle that they make. It's just perfect, in my opinion. Maybe you're going to have a different story, maybe you're going to have a different feel. You know, I also think that Halo Reach was a fantastic experience. It's actually my favourite. I don't know why I didn't actually feature gameplay of Halo Reach in this episode, but I thought I'd kind of tweak it up a little bit and shine some light on my love of Halo 4 as well, as I've spoken about Reach many, many times. So to answer my own question, what would the Xbox have been without Halo? I don't think it would have been anywhere near as important. I don't think it would have been anywhere near as vital to its life cycle. I think it's definitely helped to propel not just the Xbox but gaming to where it is today. So Halo 4 is effing fantastic. Forza Horizon is another one of those Xbox 360 games that plays like a current generation game. It freaking felt phenomenal to dive back into the driving seat of this. Again, it's another one of those very important IPs, similar to Halo. And for me personally, I struggled with racing games until maybe the last 10 years in particular, because I was so hooked on the joviality of something like Super Mario Kart that playing a game that actually involved driving skill, it wasn't my forte. As you guys know, if you follow my streams, there is a running joke that Gemma and trees, I'm just like smashing into trees all the time. And I've played a lot of Forza on stream, of course being a Game Pass Ultimate owner. I've dipped into the new Forza games and I have had an absolute sack ton of fun. And I think that's what works really well with this. There's a seriousness to Forza, but also there's a little bit of fun as well. You know, you can kind of dive off the road, you can do random little things like smash into road signs, etc., etc. And the environment truly does feel alive when you pay attention to those physics of signs smashing, etc. I mean, it does feel fantastic. So Forza Horizon is a great game by today's standards and still holds up really, really well on the Xbox 360. Where to begin with Gears of War 2? This was a game that I thought I'd struggle with before I played this back in the day because it was third person and I was hell-bent on the first person Call of Duty Modern Warfare-esque. You know, I was kind of a COD girl back in 2007, but on popped this in later years and I actually realised that I liked third person shooters and I've been a fan, not an avid fan, but a fan of the Gears of War franchise ever since. Throwing this grenade into this car park lot felt as smooth and as just first time as it ever did. Again, mechanically, I was very surprised at, in fact, how all of these games still controlled. The Xbox 360 is so valid and so important in 2023. It's hard to neglect it, but I've realised I have neglected it. My library isn't half as big or as vast or as awesome or as gnarly as it should be. So I would ask this of you. Put some hidden gems in the comment section, anything you think is cheap for any one of us to buy. I have lots of Xbox 360 games, I have at least 150, but there are some crucial titles missing. So I'll be looking to you for a little bit of feedback and guidance to help solidify the importance of the Xbox 360 in everybody's world in 2023.
Back to the hospital.
Back then, the 360 had so many fantastic exclusives. You saw some of them there. The Forza series, the Halo series. Back in the day, I first tried Mass Effect 2 and absolutely fell in love with it. I still would prefer to play it on my 360 now compared to playing it on my PS3 because that's when I had that very first experience for stepping on Shepard's ship for the very first time and, you know, navigating from planet to planet, meeting different species, taking out your crew from your ship out onto whatever planes you were about to don. That game was tremendous and still is tremendous by today's standards. I haven't played a Mass Effect since that's come close to the Mass Effect 2 experience like that on the Xbox 360. The dashboard is great, the game library is tremendous, the games look, feel and play solidly in 2023. Guys, this is not only a great console to collect for, but this is an incredibly cheap console to collect for as well. One thing we didn't do in this video is we didn't try online. If this video gets 1,000 likes, which is highly unlikely, we will do a video about what it's like to play online on the Xbox 360 in 2023. So let's go for the end of the year. We've got a goal to get it to 1,000 likes. And if by the 31st of December this year, we've got that 1K likes on this video, this episode, we'll do something in online. Maybe it will be 2024 by that point, who knows? So thank you guys. We celebrated here the Xbox 360. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day and I will catch you in the next episode. Please subscribe and I will see you next time. I need a few seconds of your time to tell you about channel memberships. If you guys want to become a channel member, click join from the main page or the second link in the description. There are 3 tiers, all with different perks for you if you want to become a team member. Thanks for your time. Let's continue with the video.